I speak today in fear and in hope, for fear has gnawed at me these many months now, but hope calls to me as well. I can stay silent no longer. My fear is the greatest threat humanity has ever faced, global warming. Of course, I cannot possibly know what you think of global warming, so bear with me and do this. Look into the work of actual climate scientists with an open and unbiased mind. If you do so, you will become as terrified as I am. Fear is the appropriate response to the rapid temperature rise humanity is forcing on the planet. Drought will spread with heat. More cropland will dry into desert. As the oceans absorb more and more CO2, they will become so acidic that anything we might call seafood will die. Thus, it must be, no matter what else may happen, the day will come when humanity runs out of food. Billions of people will then realize that soon they will be dead. Panic will ensue. Apocalyptic rage will spread like a plague. Horrors will flood the world that 10,000 encyclopedias could not describe. Only this much will I say. Should these days come, many parents will kill their children to prevent the little one's starvation. Others will do so to prevent their own. Once the children are dying, it will be far too late to correct the situation. Even so, some desperate potentate, insane with fear, will start a resource war. Others, equally trapped, will respond in kind. The missiles will fly. Fires kindled by mobs will end in the flames of radioactivity. Smoke from our burning cities will enshroud the world. What began as global warming will end in nuclear winter. Fire into ice. So, understand your situation. Extinction falls upon humanity like an eagle falls upon a rabbit. The rabbit does not need understanding to die, only to live. Indeed, understanding can bring wisdom that leads to life. Technical knowledge in itself is not enough. We already have the means to end global warming. We could stop subsidizing fossil fuel production. We could reduce our CO2 emissions by changing some of our agricultural practices. Other examples abound. Yet, despite the evidence of drought and storm and of methane bubbling up from the bottom of the Atlantic, we are not acting reasonably. Why not? If an individual continues a behavior despite the obvious and recurring harm it does, we call that behavior an addiction. Addictions can take many forms: drugs, sex, even cruelty. Societies can suffer from addictions just as individuals can. Modern civilization is addicted to fossil fuels because addiction is defined as an obsessive behavior associated with ever-increasing costs and ever-diminishing rewards. Fossil fuels are getting harder and harder to find and extract. Once they did fuel economic growth, but now the only reward they bring is death. Now we all want to travel the road to life. The individual addict, most likely to kick the habit, is the one who turns to matters of the spirit. Alcoholics Anonymous succeeds by encouraging the addict to allow divinity to enter his or her life. Modern civilization must, therefore, let divinity in so that we might live. This means that the fear, greed, and pride that all too often rule the public sphere as well as the business world must give way to a rational desire for human survival. This is not a crank call for universal goodness. It is common sense, exalted unto greatness. Consider the occupants of a sinking ship. They stand a better chance of survival by bailing together than they do by trampling each other on the way to the lifeboats. It is certainly true that people on sinking ships panic and do stupid things. Yet the intuitive knowledge imparted by spiritual practices drives the fear away. Serenity and self-control will allow the bailing to begin. Now, not everyone will surrender themselves to the survival of humanity right away. Those who can must offer up a sign. I suggest you look to the roof of your home or business. A great deal of heat flows from our buildings into the atmosphere. Anything reducing that flow would buy us valuable time to reset the planet's thermostat. So, if you have the resources, turn your roof into a garden. Heat stays in the soil. CO2 is absorbed, and you get vegetables. Should that be beyond your means, consider this. Paint your roof white in an ecologically responsible way. White material reflects sunlight, cooling the planet. If 1 billion people pick up the paintbrush, this could not be ignored. A white roof would become a symbol of connection, of cooperation, of a commitment to the future. Many people, including some climate scientists, doubt that we have a future. Certainly our peril is deep. Humanity is at a crossroad. This is our choice: to build a society reaching upward for the light, or to fall forever into the abyss of extinction. We can make the right choice, because the ancient song of life sounds within all of us. Let yourself become a note, and you will find the courage to devote yourself to humanity. You will find the wisdom to put our progeny above ourselves. Your actions matter, for our chances diminish. Surrender yourself, and you will discover that the strength and determination of your ancestors still echoes within you. You are their meaning, their point. Take up their legacy. Make sure that the laughter of our children resonates for thousands of generations. If not, if we fail each other and ourselves, a bitter future awaits. A poisoned world whose only crop is bones, its only rain, the tears of God. Yet I glimpse another future. People who have struggled so valiantly to save each other's lives can never go back to what they were. They will continue to care for one another. They will replace poverty with a pathway to the stars. They will live for as long as they wish. So, do not doubt. Take the road to life. Take to the white roof. May God bless us all, and I thank you for your attention.